Hello, beloved. It's me, Robin Hallett, intuitive healer and light sparkler at robinhallett.com. And this is Tea with Robin. On today's episode, let's intentionally reframe the stories we tell, the perspective we're choosing. Let us please intentionally reframe our experience now. Our inspiration, something I like to call prayers up. The most annoying person in your life, a frenemy. Do you ever pray for them? Prayers up, baby. It's always the way. And we'll have a letter from #afterparty. Do you ever rehash what went down when you got together with the people and the stuff that got said? And do you carry it? Do you go over and over and over it in your mind? Let's talk about that and so much more. Come grab a cup of yum yum and meet me here. Well, hello, gorgeous friend. It's me, Robin. Welcome back to the podcast, Tea with Robin. This is episode 101. I'm going to have to think about how I want to start saying this. 101, 101, 101. And it's me, Robin, just figuring things out over here. Good morning. I'm recording on an early Saturday morning. It is the Lion's Gate today. 8:08. And it is 8 a.m. Happens to be. So welcome back to the podcast. If you're new here, this is me, Robin. I'm so glad you're here. I hope this place, this podcast, this posse, our circle, becomes part of your spiritual encouragement, upliftment, joy, your process. I do. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Beautiful friend, how is the weather in your heart today? How you doing? How are you? What's going on? Are you being kind? Are you being gentle? Are you loving yourself? I hope so. And I hope that you are practicing reframing the stories now. Reframing the stories now. This is what we're going to talk about coming up as well. I hope that you are wonderfully well, that you continue to be, that your heart vibes are good, and also I hope that you are offering this love that you have and know and receive. I hope that you're offering it on to people who need it. Over here, it's a beautiful morning. Just my heart feels good. Even though in a way, emotionally, I feel like I'm struggling a little bit too. I feel a sense of clarity and hopefulness and, choosing my perspective. I'm looking forward to talking to you about that today. I had a beautiful day yesterday with number one kiddo. It's been a sweet week with the kids because one of our daughters had a birthday. She turned 27. Hi, Kendra. Happy birthday again, honey. And 27. Do you remember? Some of you are that. And yesterday I went to the beach with other number one kiddo, Elizabeth. Hi, Lizzie Boo. We had a beautiful time together and great conversation. Went in, just the water. There was another mom and daughter there, but they were much different age. She was like 5 years old, and the mom. And it was just really sweet. The two of us, two couples there, sort of two moms and daughters on the beach there, that energy. And our Lizzie Boo is turning 30 this month. And it's just, whoa. It's beautiful. So we had a nice day. We went out for margaritas. First time I stepped foot in a restaurant. And I said, there's nobody I would want to do this with but you, because she's in the world doing her own jam and adapting. And, so it was fun. And this restaurant was all open air, which helped because, I don't know. Does anybody else feel like this? It's a little bit scary, What has really changed? Is it really okay to be out here? So dipping my toe in. We each had our little masks on, and they were both floral. It was beautiful. And the restaurant had the hand sanitizer at our table, in the bathroom. Everybody was in masks, but we enjoyed a beautiful time together and had a couple just, fresh margaritas together. It was nice. It was really, really nice. So the weather in my heart this morning, it feels good and sweet. And recording this on the Lion's Gate, I am not a huge astrology person, meaning I don't know a lot. So I like to just tune to the energy myself, tune in and ask spirit. And what I keep getting told back is it is a time of a powerful gateway opening between you and the divine. And I'm going to leave it there. That's what I want to talk about coming up. So it's a beautiful day to be with you. And I have a cup of yum yum. Did you bring something? I have a cup of coffee from this morning because it's early. And I would like to cheers to fresh beginnings, greater openings, portals opening between you and the divine, you and your manifesting potential, you and seeing things differently, and the same for me. I put myself right in there as well. Cheers. I'm drinking our favorite Trader Joe's coffee, Wake Up Blend it's called. And actually this week, I guess a lot of firsts, number one, went to Trader Joe's and went shopping. And there's a lot of firsts and newness happening for us, I guess. So nice to have our good old coffee back, a little sea salt in there. So today, my friend, this is a day, this is a week. I really want to give us this missive. Those of you who are listening and loving and receiving, making this part of your spiritual practice for the week to listen to this podcast, I'm really encouraging you and me and the friends of us who listen to us, people we talk to, we can influence. It is a time to reframe the stories we're telling about this pandemic, about the effects of the pandemic. I'm so used to saying pandemic, of the pandemic, the changes happening in the world, the shifts going on. It's an important time to decide how we're going to see this now. Re-see it, renew it, reintroduce it, re-engage with it. Change your gauge. How are you gauging things? That's what I'm talking about. Because the world is changing. We are being invited to change as well. And a perspective is super key now. If you are observing everything that's happening and you're not keeping a perspective and you're not choosing, whoa, right? I mean, look at just this week. I've seen so many things between the COVID-19, how do we reopen schools? Do we reopen schools? How do we, is it spreading more? Is it getting worse? There are people in Black Lives Matter, as the movement is moving into more and more education, explaining, teaching, showing, sharing, and that's always been the case. But this week I'm noticing something new where the people who are posting they have a cover on their posts, and it says explicit or trigger warning, and you can click the button and then see the photo. And there are graphic images about what has been done to people of color forever, opening our eyes more and more. We're at a new level of understanding and perhaps ability to receive. The gap isn't so ginormous that we want to look, we want to know, we want to understand more fully. Then you have extreme weather events this week. So many of you, my friends, are without power today. Some of you don't have access to fresh water. The cell towers are down. Tornadoes, storms. The president is issuing an executive order to shut down TikTok. Things like that I'm hearing. The Beirut explosion, come on. These things that are going on. And I know so much more. And these things, plus all the economic information going on. And I am not telling you all of this to be a bummer, okay? I'm telling you all of this to frame what I'm trying to talk about. We're in a new world. We're in a new world. For those of you who like dystopian novels, Cormac McCarthy's The Road, these kinds of books, this energy that is here. It's creeping in day by day by day. And if you are not practicing with me, if we're not staying vigilant about the weather in our hearts, the perspective we're choosing, the light we're shining and receiving, the light we're riding in, if we're not staying on it, we're not intentionally occupying our conscious awareness. Think about that. So it's like the squatters can move in. And by the squatters, I mean the feelings, carpy thoughts, the scaries. Do you have any of that going on? There's a big chance you're feeling depressed, afraid, very pessimistic, very hopeless at times. And even if you are feeling that, because I'm feeling some of that as well, you can use those vibes to practice. You can. You don't have to just stay at the bottom of the spin and do nothing. You can use that to remind you, my love, it's just a reminder. Find your center. That Trevor Hall song I refer to a lot. I'll put any references today in the show notes. If you go to robinhallett.com/101, you will get there, okay? So, so many things happening that you find yourself saying, what is happening? And there's a little kid inside you who might be freaking. And it causes you to sometimes look at your own life and start to freak. So today, let's talk about your gauge. Let's talk about how you are gauging your life, your good life, and how you're choosing to see what's happening in the world. I come at so much of this from a spiritual perspective. I do. I look at this time as a great awakening. Not that there are people being punished and people being exalted or rewarded. I look at it like it's time to wake up. It's time to emerge out of this state of sleepy ego, me-ness, and care, understand, know that we are one. You and I share the same heart. You and I are one knowing. You and I both come from God. And our work here, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, our work here is to remember that light and offer it on. And that takes place in many, many forms. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual. In fact, the best form is simply to be your awesome, beautiful self, practicing with your thoughts and your fear and your angst. All the stuff that's going on. I already named all of that. Do the work of helping yourself come alive even now. Not even now, like now. This is you being aligned in your own life. Seriously, cannot even count how many people are telling me they're depressed right now. And I get it. The thing is, we can help ourselves, We're always choosing our perspective. And even with clinical depression, there is still a storyline that goes with it that we're in control of, That's what I'm saying. So you're a teacher. As you're practicing, you're a teacher. You're somebody helping other people. And so many spiritual texts say this. The Course in Miracles says it beautifully. Thousands are helped. You may never meet, but they are helped by you teaching what you are learning. And that means these stories you've got going on, the stories you tell about yourself, the pockets you get stuck in as you witness what's going on. Maybe things are shifting at work for you. Maybe you're not working at all now. And you tell a story. Natural to be afraid. Natural, of course. I get it. And you are somebody who's like, nope, I am not going to rest here. Because there's something in me that knows I can do something here. I can talk to myself. I can practice. I can study. I can become aware of how it's feeling in this body, and I can welcome it in like a mother with a small child. I can take the hand of the small child and say, here, sit down, come on. You're scared, you're worried. And before we decide this whole life, it's all hopeless, we're doomed forever, it's never going to be okay. Before we go down those roads, let me welcome you in and breathe with you. How would you do it with the smallest child you love and adore? This could be a pet. Not every child has to be a baby, a human child, of course, as I know that so well. Having had 3 dogs who I could always conjure up in these moments, so much easier in a way than my own inner child, or my kids, or our kids. It just is how it is. So whatever you vision, imagine this little thing in your lap, playing with its hair, petting its forehead, or, gently stroking its forehead. It's okay. You're scared. Here's what's happening energetically speaking. You are lifting your vibration. You are changing your dance with the story you do. I love that car. I'm looking out the window. It's like an old Beetle, like from the 60s, refurbished. Cute, perfect timing, and it is turquoise. I see this in our neighborhood every now and then. There's no accidents, right? Divine timing is a real thing. So that was my slug bug 60. I wonder if it's like in the 60s slug bug, and turquoise blue, my favorite color. But also that feeling of, we're leaving this place. We don't have to stay here. We're not grounded into the dirt with this story. So you're hugging this little child in you, the scared one, which means you got to acknowledge someone's in here and scared. So many of us are so defended. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Because why do that? Why do that to yourself? There's so much help to be had just by saying here. I see how you're feeling. I get it. And it's okay how you're feeling. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving forward. You're scared? I've got you. And we go forward. We go forward. Is this making sense today? Are you digging on this? Because this is the answer. This is the answer you're looking for now. And how do you kind of reframe the world and everything going on? And how do you go in this new world with different life or different things, different experience now? You talk to yourself, you help yourself, you stay present with yourself, and you keep going. And like I was saying before, this is you also being of service in the world, being a teacher, even to those people you constantly put yourself in the story as somebody else is better than you. They've achieved more. They've done more. They're more successful. I don't know if you could hear that, but that was our slug bug coming back. It's coming back again to pick us up again. It's like, don't stay here, baby. Don't stay here. Let's go. But, isn't this the coolest thought? Like, even the people, do you have anybody that you're like, God, they have their stuff so together. They have the money, the career, the house, they know what they're doing. They have the physical health. They have the romantic partner, whatever your deal is, and we all have a deal. None of us is that special. We all have a deal. We're in the club together. You are a teacher to them. If you decide to stop using them in your game if you start being honest and saying, I use them to make me feel like crap. That's honest, actually. I keep doing this dance, and one of the things I'm not seeing is how I use them so I can stay where I'm at. Woo! I have people in my life who do that to me. People I am working hard to change the dynamic with. Where, if I have a success, they're like, I feel jealous. I wish I had that. It stinks. Let's not do that. If we're doing that in our minds about other people in our lives, or we see somebody online that we wish, how come I'm not like that? Let's stop doing that, because we're holding ourselves hostage right here. And our job is to rise. Our job is to recognize our beauty. And like Paul Selig says, I know how I serve, meaning I am me, and I'm supposed to be me, and I'm supposed to be lifting the world as me by being me. So let me be me, and let me not look at other people and feel bad. Use them. I am intentionally saying it that way because that's the truth about what we're doing. you know? Let's rise. And yes, so those people who seem to have everything, even them, we can teach by learning what we're doing here and evolving. We're teachers. I like being a teacher. I don't know about you, but I feel good in my heart about honoring. That's a reframe right now in this time where it is frightening and things are, we don't know. I like this reframe. I am a teacher. I am stepping in. Yes. What about you? This is us doing our work. This is gauge your success by this, you know? You are elevating the energy. And as you lift that vibration, you know, everything is energy. There's an alchemical shift that happens, and people around you receive that. Everyone you're connected to, the people they're connected to. And this is how it's easy to see then. Yeah, untold thousands. I get it. Because it's like, and they told two friends, and they told two friends, and they told two friends. Remember that commercial? Was it, gee, your hair smells terrific? I grew up in the States, so I don't know if you know that commercial. You know, that's something right now. If this is the great spiritual awakening and you are somebody who's choosing to do this work, to come into alignment, to be honest with the energy and practice now, you are helping. You are doing something. And going all the way back to probably my earliest episodes when I was really talking about abundance. And do you remember the three things, the philosophy of the three things? God gives you a gift. You must commit to your gift. And if you do this, everything you need to stay on that trajectory will be provided to you. Or in other words, abundance is the reward. Abundance is the return. Call and response. Ask and it is given. You'll always be supported when you're doing your practice and you're staying on track. And, you know, true, it might not be your ego version of support. So if you're living in a mansion in Bel Air right now, you know, there's no guarantees that you're going to stay in your mansion in Bel Air and most likely, whatever this awakening is, a lot of us are seeing how we never needed any of that to justify who we are, you know? So it's much more likely that we finally stop comparing ourselves to people who have those things and somehow say we are the have-nots or the not good enoughs. You know, we're going to stop doing those things to ourselves. Yeah. You know, even Paul Selig, I talk about his work and the guides. Just recently, I was listening to the Book of Truth in the night, sometimes when I can't sleep. Now I just keep the phone, which is something I never used to do. I keep the phone in my next to my bed on airplane mode, though, and I put in my headphones if I need to. Sometimes I have anxiety in the night. Something I appreciate about myself is I know it doesn't serve me to allow my mind to just spin there. It's like, it's tried and true. That experiment, every single time I am crashing and burning, baby. You know, so long time ago, I had this amazing healer in the city. She was legally blind and deaf, and she offers healing. Wow. Limitations, right? They're a story too, aren't they? I have another friend who's blind and he blogs. He writes his own blog, by the way. He runs his own website. He makes videos. He does podcasts. It's amazing to me when we really work with our stories. but I am really digressing here, though it's a good one, right? It's inspiring. And she said to me, Robin, distraction is your friend. This is what TV was invented for. This is what movies were made for. This is what audiobooks were made for. Music doesn't always do it for me, actually, music, because I can still think to all of that. But distract your mind and do something helpful for you, you know? So anywho, and I just listen. And it's so interesting how last night I got to the point in the book where they said the exact same thing about the 1,000, how we help thousands around us lift their vibration as well, just by being us, by being in service as who we truly are, by remembering and choosing to ride, to roll in that energy. You're not taking to a podium. You're not lecturing people with wagging your finger in the air. You're just being you. And that means the true you. Or as on Cloud Atlas, they would call it the true. I've been loving watching Cloud Atlas this week. I've seen it like 3 times now, by the way. I don't know why, but somehow I really got interested in that storyline. You're being the true. You're being your true you. Does it sound like that bird is saying true? I think so. So, and if you have the book, it's somewhere in day 7. A lot of his teachings are like days because he channels in front of live audiences. But I wanted to end by reading you something from this book. This is the Book of Truth, my friend, Paul Selig, and the Guides. And this is from the chapter called What You Are. What You Are. Here we go. Hear these words, because the divine self knows who he is. He needs no glory from man. The divine, as you, knows who he is, knows what he is, has no vanity, and no need to be the one who is elevated in the sight of his fellows. Now the divine self, the Christed self, the true self, that's you, by the way. That's the one in you who is connected to the all that is. This self does not seek fame, does not seek to be known. As she knows who she is, she seeks to be in full expression. And to be in full expression means I know how I serve. The service that you each provide at this level of manifestation is in being. Underline the word being. What you do, informed by being at this level, will be in truth because you've aligned to it. And in this alignment, you are always called forward in service. What service means in our language is true expression. You are expressed in truth, and whatever abilities you have been gifted with, whatever you see before you that must be done because it is being presented to you to do, will be known by you, the divine self, as part of your expression. Being in alignment requires intention and agreement to be here. The work of alignment is brought to you each day as you encounter yourself through your creations. How one creation may be attended to may be quite different than the next, but the freedom you have now in this agreement, I know who I am in truth, I know what I am in truth, I know how I serve in truth, will do the heavy lifting. The wind of truth blowing through every cell of your body will be your liberator with the truth of who you are. And friends, I can't say it enough. even if just a little bit of this clicked for you or resonated, as I like to say, maybe this is something for you to start listening to. The first 3 books of his, starting with I Am the Word, they're free at the library and you can get them on audio. And, but, practice, because it's a time of great awakening. So much is changing, and I know we're scared, and I know, sometimes people who listen to the podcast will say, I'm not as worried about world events as you keep bringing up and mentioning. I've got my own jam happening that I'm worried about. But I keep saying, what's going on for you personally? It's a heavier pressure right now. The pressure is on. It's deeper because the outer impacts the inner, So what's going on in the outer world adds a press. It's like you're in a press. You're in a panini press, my friend. You're getting extra pressure because of that. So how you serve is by remembering the true. You are a spark of the divine. All is always well. Witness the small self who wants an identity. Oftentimes it wants to be identified with its suffering, so it knows it exists. And suffering can be the seeking anything that is just causing a lot of pain, whether it's fame or terror. It's all seeking. Keep practicing. I know who I am. I know how I serve. I know what I am. I know how I serve. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Okay? And I hope anywhere this resonated today, you are served with so much love from my heart to yours. So let's have a little more coffee. So good. So friends, for inspiration this week, I wanted to check in and share something fun. Last week I celebrated episode 100, and I said, instead of, my normal ask for the podcast sharing or support, I said I would love to hear some stories from you. How have you been impacted in this time? Like by getting to know me. How did we meet? Where did you find? And, what did you learn? Tell me. And I've gotten some beautiful messages this week. So I wanted to say a big heartfelt hello and thank you. And I feel even more connected with you. And it was such a gift to hear your stories. So hi to you. You know who you are. Those of you who wrote to me or messaged me. It has been such a gift to hear your stories. Some of you who have been listening since the beginning, I'm so touched. I'm so touched. We've stayed together all this time. So I thank you. And some of the things that I thought were so powerful is the common energy. Like, I don't know what I would do in this time, especially without listening to Tea with Robin, the support, the inspiration. There's a way that you feel like you get to know the community through my stories. You get to hear what other people are going through who see me for healings, or the Morning Magic Posse. And you are invited to Morning Magic. I'm there every day live on Instagram. Just come to my account there. It's at Robin Hallett, and 9 a.m. Chicago time, 9:05 usually. I go live there. You just wait for the little notification. Just hang out on Instagram and it'll pop up. Or you can go to my channel there. And all right, stop talking, Robin. Get back on the topic, Robin. So anyway, you've said you really like hearing what other people are going through. And so I wanted to say, a lot of you have dealt with big things during the COVID time. Many of you have lost loved ones. There have been divorces, lots of layoffs. I know that. And days where you just feel like, what is the point? You know? And I'm so glad to know that what I offer has been a highlight for you and that you've chosen to step in and receive it. That's everything. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. And I wanted to tell you a secret, and this is the inspiration really, is that I pray for you. I pray for you almost every day at some point, usually more than once a day. I pray for you. I wish you the best. I think about you. I pray for you. And you're in my heart. And I care about your journey. And I want you to be happy and well in your way. And so something I wanted to encourage you to do is to pray. And not the religious pray. More of an intentional statement. And this is something very powerful that you can do for yourself, to ask for your highest and your best, and then think of someone else and offer the same for them. It's beautiful and powerful when you do it for your frenemy. You have any frenemies? People or family members who make you bonkers? You know, start to focus intentionally on their highest and best. If you want them to shift, stop seeing them as the nightmare they usually present as. Pray for them. Pray for them. May Judy be blessed. Bless you, Judy. May you have a beautiful day. May you see the light you truly are. May you shine. May you know you are loved. You are welcome. You know, make it up as you go, my friend. Offer some light for someone else. If you're depressed, if you're struggling, if you're scared, take that moment to be of service. That's what I do. Sometimes during this pandemic, you know, my healing practice has definitely slowed. And it took me a little while to come out of just being worried about it to saying, you know, I never really needed to serve for payment anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I would do this no matter what. It's what I always do, and let me continue to do it. And that's how Morning Magic started for me. So every day I basically do a free healing session every day on Instagram for anyone who wants one. You know, there's a way that you can move into service if you're really stressed or worried or afraid. Move yourself into service for someone else, and your life is going to change in ways you won't believe. You know, you'll be like, I always thought, but I never really believed it. Here it is, baby. So just wanted to say, you know, a special thank you to our family, to those of you who took the time to reach out and share. And I welcome you to do that still. There's a post on Facebook, on Instagram for episode 100. Just go there and leave a comment. I love to hear or message me. It touches my heart so much because this is how I serve. I'll show up and be me here. This is how I serve. More and more in this time, I'm learning if we can serve without, without having to say how it needs to look or how I should be paid for this, we're going to be all right. We really, really are. As we choose to lift each other and remember each other, you're going to be fine. Better than fine. This transition will be quicker if we step in sooner. So may that serve you, beloved. And thank you so much. And I hope you like knowing I pray for you. I do. I do. Yeah. So if you are loving this episode and you enjoy this podcast, there's a number of ways to support this work. First of all, tell a friend. Create a post. I love seeing the posts you guys create or your stories on Instagram. And it's fun because I always reshare them then, and hopefully you're making new connections as we do that. You're meeting new people by sharing. So make a post and share it, or write a review for iTunes or Google Play, wherever you listen. It really helps out. And always I welcome you to make a donation. There's a link below, robinhale.com/donate. Got some beautiful courses, and I am offering healing sessions too. And always that you're doing the work is everything. That you're putting it into practice, what I'm sharing is everything. So thank you. So this week's letter, I have a good feeling you're going to relate to this. This is from a friend who wants to stay anonymous. Anonymous, thank you. And anytime, my friends, you don't have to say your name. I understand what courage and bravery it takes to write a letter here. It's not like you're calling in to ask about the spare parts for the carburetor. I probably didn't even get that right, but it's not like you're calling in asking for cooking advice, So I get it, and always totally fine just to say, please don't use my name or give yourself a name. And if I can read a letter for you, the email address is hello@robinhallett.com. There's a link below this podcast in the show notes, robinhallett.com, episode 101. And always you can message me on Insta or Facebook, okay? Hi, Robin. Congratulations on your upcoming episode 100. Don't know how these last many months would have been the same without it. Tea with Robin. Highlight of my week. No rush to get back to me on this, but I wanted to ask a couple of things. We had a family get-together last Sunday, and it went okay. There were a few things, as usual. You know how it is, family members, friends, etc. Things get said. Some point it's usually a little awkward. So I wonder, why do we rehash and reanalyze things in our heads for hours after events? I know you know what I mean. Something happens, and then for hours and maybe days after, I will replay what was said and what had happened over and over in my brain. Sometimes I beat myself up. Sometimes I wish so hard I hadn't said what I said. Most of the time, I find myself vowing I'm never going to do that again. So I wonder, why is that? Am I not learning my life lesson correctly? Am I not working on something the right way? Is this energy that somehow gets stuck? Am I infected somehow by the interactions I'm having? Is it their energy stuck in me? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, maybe for an upcoming episode. And again, so much joy listening to your podcast. I wish you all the best, and hopefully another 100 episodes. Love, Anonymous. What a beautiful letter. Thank you so much. And I am guessing lots of our friends all around the land are nodding with you now, including me. I have to say, I could have written this letter. There are so many times going back like the last 24 hours or 48 hours, 2 weeks ago, where I'm at a thing. I went to the thing, and then the stuff happens. The same things with the same players. The energy comes up, and there you are, and this thing goes down. A lot of times I'm feeling it with you. People around you say, "What? You didn't do anything wrong." I can hear how you're hard on yourself. I can hear how you examine your own words and deeds way too closely, under a certain kind of scrutiny that is really born out of old ways of surviving, going all the way back. When you were a small one, when you were a youngster, teenager, young person in college, certain things happened and shaped you and formed you, and here you are, still worrying about everyone else, making sure everyone else is okay, happy, and content, and somehow you carry the bigness of, let's say Aunt Bertha. Poor Aunt Bertha. Sorry, Aunt Bertha, you always get such a bad rap. The one person who's so difficult. It's the challenging one. The thorn on the stem. Just difficult. And we have to leave room for the mystery, my friend. The mystery of how you don't remember everything that you lived through, that you experienced, especially as a wee one. You didn't know. I think about stuff like when I was studying early childhood development and learning how early babies learn to turn over because they don't feel safe. They learn to roll away from the noise, the light, the movement. They learn to start suckling their own fingers, their thumbs. I was a thumb sucker, by the way. I sucked my thumb till I was 12. Anyone else? I used to rub the bridge of my nose to soothe myself at the same time. Find that perfect corner of the blanket, the silky corner, where you fold the two edges together and rub, and it's so silky. We learn how to soothe ourselves. And we should only think, wow, I am a survivor. I'm resilient. That's agency. Agency of a small one, a small child. Wow. Behold, look at that. And then you get older and, you can't go to the party sucking your thumb. You can't. So we do other things that mask our anxiety, mask our nervousness. Of course, I'm not saying all of this straight to you, Anonymous. I'm just speaking to what is coming to me right now as I tune into this. It's like a whole body awkward experience, anxiety, nervousness, worrying. And at some point, these things are building. It's just little things like you're setting up, you're decorating, you're getting ready. It's building, whatever that is, those feelings. I really believe it's a myth that everyone everywhere is always happy and always excited to get together and entertain with family. That it's always hunky-dory and it's always pleasant and it's always easy and it's always wonderful and it's always perfect. Somewhere inside of us, there's an expectation that that's the way it should be, I wish so much I could press the button for all of us. Somewhere press a button that says, all is well, exactly as this is now. And the safety, the ease in the body always comes from just deep, pure acceptance of what is. You know, Aunt Bertha, we love you, and you're a challenging pain in the butt. Right? Mom, we love you, and you nag and nag and nag, you know. You don't have to say these things to their faces, obviously. The one person who's always the thorn on the bloom at every party. It's for you to know. It's for you to understand. I don't have to like what you do or what you say. And I also don't have to take responsibility for you and hold it, take it on, and hold my breath, waiting to see if you're going to do the thing you always do or say the thing you always say. I have other moves I can make. The beauty is we're all free. Everybody is responsible for themselves. I mean, everybody above the age of, I don't know what that age is. You know what I'm saying? Not little kids. So that we go home, or that people leave our home, and we are left in a certain kind of state of energetic regrets, rehashing, or energetic review. And we're rehashing what happened, what was said, what was done. There's sort of a purging of, oh, why did I say that? Or, you know, oh, so-and-so, they said this again, and I can't believe she didn't say thank you. She didn't like my tuna salad. She didn't like it. You know, we just go on and on and on. You know, the why of it all is so less satisfying. And it's the ego's favorite question. It's why is never going to lead you anywhere helpful. However, I will say, we learned to be caregivers. We learned to, you know, that saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. We learned to take care of the biggest pain in the arse around. The biggest fear. The biggest challenge. We learned to dance with that because we had to. And we're still maybe carrying some of that as we go forward. Me too. I'm in so many situations like that where I go away and I'm very tenderhearted. Are you super tenderhearted, Anonymous? Because I think we carry it really big time. So maybe we weren't taught our worthiness. You know, maybe we had to self-soothe very early. I don't know your story. I know mine, and I get why I learned to be super self-sufficient and suck my thumb and prefer to be alone all the time. Could stay in my room and not eat, not need to leave, not need to do anything. Occupied, but inert in so many ways. You know, I know why that happened for me. And so it's such a courageous thing to choose to be a social being after a life like that growing up. So maybe some of that in there will help you understand. Look at your own history. Last week I did a beautiful inspiration section on a timeline. The week before I offered a beautiful one on looking at the landscape of your life. These might be worthy journaling exercises for you. You know, because it's not fair to just get upset with yourself about what you carry after it's over. The way you reanalyze and rehash things, and why did I say that, and I wish this hadn't happened, and why did she say that to me? You know, of course, my perspective is I'm hard on myself for saying things and doing things. And usually it's being too nice, not stopping a conversation or not redirecting the topic or saying yes when I mean no, you know? But maybe for you, it's like your feelings are really hurt by what other people said or did or didn't do. Let yourself have some time to purge that. Write it down. And then get to look at, why is it not safe or comfortable to be you in the moment at the party, you in the moment at the event, just to be yourself. This is something I have been working on. I'm in a blended family, and that specific piece is something I have been working on for 10 years at least, maybe more, like diligently, because you know how things happen and you wake up and you realize, like, I can't keep throwing myself under the bus just to make nice with all the birches who are at this party. At some point, I have to be myself and let it go and understand. You know, like, we don't all have to be best friends. I don't have to be dying for you to like me. I can let it go. I can. I have. Now I'm in the phase of just be me. Just be me. No butt kissing. No caretaking. Aunt Bertha, you go figure it out. You know, the thorny one at the party. You know, my dad said it best. Ignore and reward. My dad was an amazing teacher, and he was an amazing teacher, and he worked with kids who had a lot of challenges and who needed somebody who really got it. And that was my dad, because he had challenges too. But he would always say, Robin, ignore and reward. Ignore the stuff you don't want to get. You know, you don't want it to become bigger. You don't want to give it your attention. And reward the stuff you're about, you're interested in. Give your focus there. Obviously, it doesn't work everywhere, but it helps me to remember that. And I hope you're helped to remember what I'm saying here too, that you replay things because you're a good, kind, and tender-hearted person. You care. You replay things and rehash things because stuff went down in your life and you came out somewhat kinked from those experiences. And those bent parts of you, those kinky parts of you, they don't dance with reality quite so good. And we need to help heal those parts. And that's why you must sit down and take a look at what happens for you. Write it out. I write some mornings. I sit down and write. I start with a sentence like something like you said here, you know. Why do I rehash and reanalyze things in my heads for hours? In my heads, because you have to, right? In my head for hours after events. So-and-so said this to me, and I said this. And start writing from there. Put some music on. That's what I love to do. Listen to some music and write. And see what comes. And you don't have to write. This is not a one-size-fits-all solution, you know, like, but find some time to let yourself be. Should you find feelings there, let yourself breathe them in and out and release them. But know this, Anonymous, you are a good person. Your heart is good. As they sang on the Golden Girls, your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. You're a good person. Obviously, I know you. You know, we're saying anonymous for the podcast, but you're a good person, and The last bit I'll say is you need to start holding up your finger to yourself in the dark and say, no, stop it. Don't do it. Don't go there, girlfriend. You must begin the training process. It's like the gate is open and the dog keeps getting out. You must start to close the gate. That's the next piece of work here. Stop analyzing. Stop allowing yourself to analyze. Let yourself be free to say, like I say, so-and-so, thorny personality. So-and-so, pain in the ass. Difficult. You're not doing something wrong. There's never anything wrong. If Jesus was here, Jesus would say, Aunt Bertha, pain in the ass, and spark of the divine. That's all. It's like, we're not doing something wrong to name it like it is. Maybe we're doing something right. Maybe finally somebody's going to help her liberate that energy, liberate that stick from up her butt, her sense of entitlement, her sense of it's all about me. Maybe that's what it's going to take. Do you ever think about that? So you're not doing anything wrong. The practice is to know we're all walking. We're all filled with light. We all have Buddha nature, and some of us need to wake up. So if you're carrying things that belong to someone else, I vote you send them back. And, be a little tighter with what you're allowing yourself to do after the party. And try, this was a beautiful day. This was a beautiful night. I loved how my kids were. I love this. I love that. I love this. I love that. Try to play the game. I do that. Because I do come home and I know all about staying up half the night over a stupid thing somebody said. The thing is, we deserve more, and it's up to us to take it. We have to do it. We deserve more. You deserve more. And you're a good person. And for anybody else who needs to hear that, I give you all the same and my blessing to call it like it is and stand strong in your truth. And, don't be afraid to call yourself out. I can be a bit of a you-know-what. I can be difficult and challenging. I can get a little pissy sometimes. Don't be afraid to look at that stuff in yourself and just say, do better. Do better, kid, because you deserve better. Right? It's not a big deal. All right, my friend, so much love to you, and thank you so much for sharing so we could all receive. And friends, again, please, I love to read your letters. Nothing too small, nothing too big could ever be the case. Always just right. Well, that wraps episode 101. I'm going to have to decide how I want to start saying this now. I do know when we get to 111, I already can hear myself something a la Lord of the Rings. Yes, Mr. Bilbo had a birthday, So friends, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm finishing up the day before you get this. I kind of love it. It's so fresh and new. I hope you feel my hugs right now. It's a beautiful warm day. The sun is shining. The leaves are doing their thing, casting shadows on the deck and in the backyard. I can see everything so beautiful, and I'm going to get outside and just enjoy the day. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Right? Do you remember our song from last week? Yeah. So thank you always. Keep this love sparkling in your heart. Remember you're a good person. Remember you're worthy of this reframing that I've been talking about. You get to tell a new story. You get to do the work. And it's hard, I know, but you get to do it so that you feel better and more excited and delighted in your life. This has been me, Robin Heart Sparkler Hallett. I'm sending love, and I will see you on the next episode next week or in a few minutes. Bye-bye. Life is very short, let's make the very most of it. You are a precious gem and I love you. Do 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 do. We are here to shine and shine bright. You are a gem and I love you. Do 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 do. Life is precious and you are a spark of the divine. So shine like you know it, rock it like you mean it, 'cause you really, really mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it. Don't let crispy people tell you that you aren't sparkly, 'cause you are, 'cause you are, 'cause you are. Thank you. I like that. I love it, honey. Thank you. Give me a kiss. Thanks.